Go.
Welcome. This is Coach Carter from Sideline Magazine. I'm here with none other than Mark Ein, Ventures House Group owner, CEO of a number of other capital ventures. What you been up to since I seen you the last time at the Capital Classic? That was the last time I seen you. What's been going on with you?
Yeah, since we won the championship, we brought the championship for the third time to our city, which was great. Well, I took a little vacation after that because there's a lot of work to do that, but we were really excited about that. I was at the U.S. Open for a while, so I saw our players. Leander Paes won the men's doubles, which was great.
We'll get to him later. That's my guy.
Yeah, he's the man. He's the man. He's amazing. So he was great at the Open. I saw a lot of our players. I'm on the USTA board, so I was there a lot. I bought a company at the end of August, a great brand called Reed Krakoff, First Lady's first favorite designer.
Wow.
Building a great company. They're a guy I've known a long time, massively talented guy that I think we're going to build something special. I got married, I had a honeymoon, and now I'm here talking to you.
Right.
So never stops.
So how is life with Miss Sally Stiebel-Ein?
Yeah.
She's a political analyst, and you're a business tennis guy.
Yeah.
What's that conversation like at the dinner table?
Well, it's good. It's good. You don't want to come home and talk about the same stuff you talk about all day. So she's just an incredibly wonderful person. She's got the best heart of anyone I've ever met, and she's smart and interesting. And so the first 2 weeks of married life have been great. I highly recommend it.
So you have all the ingredients to live life well into the future and enjoy life. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
from what they tell me. I've never been married before, but
I
that's
waited
what
a
they
long
tell me, right?
time. I tell you, after 2 weeks, it's a good thing. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Any plans for kids?
For sure. No, the whole idea is start a family and everything. So it's the first step, and we were excited. The wedding was great. Got all of our friends together. It really is a very special time in our lives. It was nice.
So let me ask you something. Business guy, you own the tennis team. Are you gonna push your kids to play sports or more in the business? What do you?
Well, I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think both. I mean, I don't know that my kids will be able to, or that I'd want them to play pro sports. I mean, if they have that talent, maybe. I think sports for kids is the greatest discipline in the world. I think, even if you don't do it for a living, I think the things you learn when you play sports as a kid are things that stay with you and are transferable to everything you do in life. The discipline, the self-reliance, the competitiveness, all that stuff. I mean, I think in my business life how much I learned on the tennis court and basketball court and everything else I did. So I think for both men and women, boys and girls, playing sports is something that's just a really important part of life. And then if you're good at it, you see where it goes.
Okay. Well, you're one of the DC top business guys, Fortune 500 guy. How do you rank yourself amongst the Ted Leonsis and Dan Snyders? Where do you rank yourself? I mean, come on, man. You up there? I told you that you were building the dynasty when you were on the court. I told you that. So.
Yeah, no, but I don't. One thing I learned a long time ago is you can't compare your life to anyone else's. You can only do what you do, truly, and find happiness and satisfaction in who you are and how you spend your time and what you accomplish and what you fail at. You know, it doesn't do any good to look around and compare yourself to others. Now, some of the guys you mentioned are friends and role models. You know, Ted and I have been close a long time. I've learned a lot from Ted. I think he has done some really amazing things with the Capitals, and I think he's going to do great things with the Wizards. And you know, I think it's one of the nice things about our community is people actually are pretty supportive. Everyone's more than pretty. Everyone's very supportive of each other. And so I'm very happy where I am and where we are, and we're just getting started. Okay.
Now you had mentioned the word failure. Tell us about maybe a business venture that you had or that you failed at, and you know, what did you go through mentally? How did you handle it, and how did you rebound from it?
Yeah. So fortunately, I actually have had very few business failures. I really have had very, very few. I've had, but I've had a lot of things that worked out well that for a period of time looked like they weren't going to work out well. I've had things that started well and then hit a roadblock and came close to failure, and then we sort of focused and made things work. And but I've had failure in plenty of other things in my life. I've had hard times, and I always say that all your strength, all my strength comes from the hard times. Like when things are looking really bad, and you get through it, and then things work out, you look back and say, if I can make it through that, I can make it through anything. And then when things are good, you have draw a lot of strength from that. And so, I've had a bunch of things, as I said, that for one reason or another, things weren't going well. And what I've learned through all those is in those moments, you just need to give it 100. Like that's where you need to bear down and give it everything you have to try to fix things, improve things, find the opportunities and make them work. And in a lot of ways, it's more satisfying the ones that almost failed and then worked than the ones that just were good all the way through, because you know that you worked hard to create that good outcome. So.
And with the Capitals, where do you see this going? Because I wanted to ask you, when you first even started building the Kastles empire, there was a couple other big tournaments going on already. The one at Rock Creek Park, and then you had the other. I can't remember the name of it. But, did you look at that as competition, or I'm going to do my thing and just how do you find your niche?
Well, so that's a good question. So I was the one in Rock Creek Park. I was a ball kid when I was a kid, and that was part of my life. That was like a part of my growing up. I would go there. I spent all my that tournament was going on. I was there 24/7 the entire week. I was a ball kid. I ball kid the finals in that tournament. And I lived it, and then when I was too old to be a ball kid, I drove the players around, and then I was on the board of the organization that owns, that's been part of my life. And I really viewed it that more is additive. I mean, there were people who thought, is that going to be competitive one way or the other? And I thought, you know what, more tennis is good, and I think we especially are good for them because we get people excited about tennis, and then our season's over, and then you go right into that. It's almost like a marketing build-up for the sport for 3 weeks. And I think similarly, it's been good for us. We've had a good partnership with those guys. Donald Dell, who's the founder, is a really good friend of mine, and we've worked well together. And I think it proves, there's an expression, rising tides lift all boats, and I think that's a lot of it. I think 1 + 1 = 3. I think the two of us together have made tennis bigger in Washington than either of us separately would have.
Okay. Now you've been cited to kind of consistently go down to the Verizon Center. So I guess if you go to the Wizards games, give us the insight. Which team is your best team? What enthusiasts are you? A Wizard guy? Are you a Capitals guy? I know you like all of them. But
I do. No, I don't know. I think over the years I've come to be a basketball Wizards guy over there, and I love the Caps, and I go to games too. But you just really limit to how many nights a week you can go to a sports event. And so, from being a young kid, I was a Redskins guy.
So you're from
I'm from Chevy Chase. Okay. So I grew up here. So, but I'd say above all, probably the Wizards is the team. Okay. Hopefully it's our year.
All right. You said earlier that there was a new venture, a new partner. Because when I called, they said you had a meeting to go somewhere on the West Coast this week. Was it this week?
Well, we did. I was on the West Coast this weekend. Yeah.
Was that
actually
more
for something
a business?
else.
Oh, okay.
Well, that was actually for Billie Jean-King had her 70th birthday party. So she's the founder of our league.
Yeah. I read about that.
Yeah. So she's a legend. So she's one of those.
She plays Billy. What's his name?
Bobby Riggs.
Bobby Riggs.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Billie Jean was the #1 in the world. I mean, she is called, and I think it's right, she's been called the most influential female athlete in history, and I think it might be right. And she did more for women's sports, I think, than any single individual ever. So it's great to be here with her. We become friends through World Team Tennis. One of our other good friends is Elton John, so he played a concert for us, so that was cool.
Wow.
So so that wasn't business related. That was more to be there for Billy. But no, the company we bought is called Reed Krakoff. He's the creative guy who built Coach from a small company into the most valuable fashion company. And
what interest do you have with that?
Well, so Reed and I have been friends for a long time. I can't say I have a passion for handbags and women's shoes, but I love backing great business people. I love partnering with really world-class people, and he is for sure world-class.
Yeah.
And what he did with Coach is one of the great success stories in fashion history. And so he started a slightly more luxury brand under his own name within Coach, and we just closed on buying it. So now it's an independent company owned by Reed, myself, and 2 other people. And we think we can build a really big special company over the next 10, 20 years together there. So we're excited about it.
So you said you've always been around sports all your life. I gotta ask you, well, number one, if you feel like telling me this. I told you already my guy was Evander Pace. That's my guy for your team.
Yeah.
I love all your players,
Yeah.
but that's my guy.
Yeah.
But who's your favorite Castle, and then who's your all-time favorite athlete growing up?
I can't. I mean, my favorite Castle. Well, no, my favorite Castle is by saying who's your favorite, friend, because they're all my friends. I love our team. I feel so blessed because not only do we have incredible players and great athletes, but we have the greatest humans. Like, I just feel so lucky.
Yeah.
The quality of individuals we have. Whether Leander is just one of the greatest, but Bobby Reynolds, who's unbelievable. Martina Hingis.
Way back.
Yeah. Martina Hingis is unbelievable. Venus, Serena, Anastasia. I mean, just the people have been so good, and they've all become my friends, and we're all friends. They're friends with each other. So I just feel super lucky about that we have that, and I truly couldn't pick. And Murphy, our coach, who I love.
Oh yeah,
Murphy's
he's
one of
great
my
guy.
greatest
Yeah,
friends.
we participated. Our organization participated in the Kids Day event.
Yeah.
They spent so much time. I've seen you a couple of photos. We had so much great time with Coach Murphy. He's just an excellent guy. Very engaging. Very engaging. Yeah,
the best. We love him. So he's great. An all-time favorite athlete? I don't know. I got to know MJ when he was in town, and it's hard, when he was in his
You used to walk around to see him, or he walked around here to see you?
A little bit of both,
It's not so.
He would come by the floor, and I was with my brother once, and MJ's were warming up in the layup line. He goes, "What's up, Marky boy?" And my brother goes, "No, that's cool."
That is really cool. Wow.
So, but I just think he's a transformative figure, and what he did was so revolutionary, and he's also a really good guy. So I don't know if I had to pick